Okay, so with Vision, I didn't even drink with dinner. Isn't that amazing? I just totally didn't even think about that. So, okay, so what I would like us to do, and this is going to be like one of those, when you go to like a seminar or a camp or something, and they're like, go around the room and talk about yourself. I kind of want to do that just to initially, like, just reintroduce yourself, because I know that we see each other in the team page and we see each other on our news feeds and stuff like that, but it's not very often that we're all in here together and we get to sort of really talk with each other and see each other face to face and have that kind of human element to it, So I'll go first and then you guys can just jump on in. So, I'm Tiffany. I'm 33. I live in Charleston. Up until a few months ago, I was a paralegal at a law firm, and I liked my work, but I hated the people that I worked with. And now I'm just a crazy dog mom living it at home. I love to cook. I love to try new recipes. I love to try new wine. I love to travel. Let's talk about one unique thing about each other. One unique thing about me. God, I'm not very exciting now that I'm old, I guess. I can do, okay. Can you see my foot? Can you see how far my toes are bent back? Like, I don't have to touch them. I can just do that and like bend my foot, and my fingers do it too. Look how far I can bend my hand. Isn't that weird? So that's my thing. That's my one weird and awesome thing. So, yeah. I'm married. Obviously, I'm married to John. You guys hear about him all the time, and I've got Samson, and that's basically the basis of my family as far as here. So yeah. Who's next?
Hey, sorry, I had to unmute myself.
That's okay.
And I was also trying to copy a link because for some reason I'm looking at houses, even though we can't afford them. Yeah, get one yet? And I'm like, oh, look at this one. And look at this one.
Dude, there's nothing wrong with daydreaming.
All right. I'm Stacy. I am a sanitarian, which is a health inspector, as most people like to think of it, with manufactured food and specifically bottled water in the state of West Virginia. And I stay in Beckley with my mom during the week and drive up to Charleston for work, but we have a place that we rent over in Greenbrier County, my fiance Jonah. I'm not very, I like makeup, and a unique thing is I took voice lessons for 4 years in high school.
I never knew that about you.
Yeah.
Did you have designs on being like a musician, or did you just love to sing?
I liked music and I liked singing, and my parents gave me an option. I couldn't do like music and stuff at school, but I could take the choice of piano lessons or voice lessons, and I chose voice.
That's awesome. See, I never knew that. I would have never known that had we not had this call tonight. That's so cool. I took voice lessons too. I actually wanted to be an opera singer when I was young.
Cool.
But here I am, not singing opera. We'll get to that. All right, Kayla, go girl.
I'm not very good at this. I feel like I'm in AA. Yeah, my name is Kayla. Hi, Kayla. Let's see. I'm almost 30. I have an official 4-year-old, 2 dogs, a cat, and like 88 cattle, and a horse. I work in pharmaceuticals and I hate it. Drawing blanks here. I love to kayak. I'm slowly getting into whitewater kayaking. I'm actually going whitewater rafting this weekend for the first time.
Oh God. For a class. Huh.
And I don't really have anything unique about me other than I'm an actual true redhead.
I mean, that's pretty unique. That's a very small part of the population. So, okay, what's an NA meeting?
Narcotics Anonymous instead of alcohol.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
That's hilarious. So you had to go just for observational reasons?
Yeah, it was for one of the psych classes I took in college, a survey of drug use and abuse. It's required for the athletic training major.
Neat. I bet it was interesting to see all those people.
It was. They replaced all of their drug habits with coffee, drinking, smoking, and sugar.
Well, they could have made a little better choices probably, but anything's better than drugs. So there's that. So, okay. So now we kind of have an idea, about each other and who we are. I want to talk a little bit about, we talk about vision, and like one thing that all three of us said is like, we weren't super pumped about our jobs. Like, yay, job, this is what I do. It wasn't like I do this and I really love it a lot. There was none of that. It was just kind of like, yay, I have something that pays the bills, and I would rather gouge my eyes out than have to be there, but it pays the bills, So that's something with this business that I'm living proof for you guys. It's something that if you're willing to, put in the work and like be focused, it doesn't have to take, it's nice now because I'm home and I can work my business for like 12 hours a day if I want to. But that wasn't the case before I left my full-time job. So I had to be very like focused in the little bit of time that I had on what I was doing. But it's not impossible to be able to use this business as your way of escaping those things that are like, so miserable and such a time suck and such a happiness suck. So I think it's pretty clear just from that little bit that all three of us are not doing what we dreamed of doing when we were kids. Am I right? Definitely not what we thought we would be doing. So one of the things I was thinking about, and I had a one-on-one with my coach, Natalie, today, and I told her, I said, everybody says to have like a vision. You've got to have a vision for what you want. And then you just, I don't know if you guys follow Kelsey Smith at all, but she's always talking about how she literally imagined like down to the outfit that she was wearing. When she decided she was going for elite, she was like, I knew what shirt I would be wearing when they called me to tell me I hit elite. I knew what pants I would be wearing because they call on a certain day. And so she was like, I knew, I could envision like what the flowers would smell like when they delivered the flower bouquet from corporate. Like she's got these very clear visions in her mind of how she wants her life to look. And that's something that I've been trying to really focus on. But I was telling Natalie, I said, the hard thing is, for me at least, I'm very detail oriented. Are you guys that way? Bless you. So to be detail oriented, I also want to know, what am I going to be wearing and what is it going to smell like and that sort of thing. So I said, when I imagine our team in the future, one of the things that is like a stumbling block for me is that I can't see faces, and I want to know who's going to be there with me, but having the unknown of like, it could be anybody. You think about, Stacy, before Jamberry, you and I were like completely strangers. We didn't know each other. We had some mutual friends, So there was a time in my life when I would not have imagined that you were going to be a part of my life. And now I talk to you like every day almost, So that was really tough for me. And I'm like, how am I supposed to visualize if I don't know what I'm looking at, And then how are we as a team supposed to visualize if we don't really know what we're looking for? So I've been spending a lot of time on that and just trying to work that out and figure that out, because the things that I have been able to clearly see in my mind, the things that I imagine all the time and mostly have come true, here recently, but there are just some stumbling blocks. So I was like talking about it. And I said, the last time I can remember clearly having a vision and knowing exactly what I wanted it to look like and that sort of thing was when I was like in high school, before you become an adult and the world beats you down with adulting, because that sucks, right? Like you become an adult and it's just like, there's no more dream world. You're just reality based all the time. And reality is really, really crappy sometimes as an adult, especially the way that the world is now. So I was thinking back on that and I'm like, man, the last time I had like a clear vision of what I thought I wanted my life to look like was when I was in high school. And like I mentioned a little bit earlier, Stacey, I thought I wanted to be an opera singer when I was in college, but when I was in high school, girl, I was bound and determined that I was going to be a Broadway singer. That was my thing. Like I loved to sing. I loved music. I played like 7 different instruments. I wasn't really that great at dancing. I was kind of typical white girl with the dancing, but I was like, we can work on that. That's fine. Or they can just give me a singing part or whatever. But that like when I was thinking back on it, I like could see myself on a stage singing in Broadway. You were going to be a doctor. Awesome. See, okay, we'll get to that. We're going to get to that because everybody else is going to share what their crazy visions were too when they were young. So we're going to hear all about that in just a minute. I'm excited to hear that one. So I could see myself standing on that stage and I could even like see myself walking out of the place and walking to my apartment and walking up 5 flights of stairs to my little tiny apartment in New York City, and vivid, you know what I mean? It was like I just knew that that's what I was going to do. And I would like, envision myself meeting my friends at Central Park or going down to get bagels in the morning or all the typical like New York things that you think about, because I was so in my head, that's where I was going. And then what happens though when you have like a clear vision? Sometimes something comes along and makes you say, oh no, you can't do that. And the older we get, the more that happens. Now it's like you have a vision, you get a fleeting thought, and then immediately it's followed by, oh, but you can't do that because. Am I right? Because adulthood is all about being realistic, and staying within confines of what everybody thinks is realistic and safe. And that's partially a brain thing because our brains are wired to keep us safe. So any kind of change to our minds seems like something dangerous and like something that we should be protected from. Even when you start like, when you start a new workout program and those like day 2 and day 3, your body is like, what the F? And then you're just, you just feel so like defeated and tired and stuff. That's a defense mechanism in your brain saying, why are we doing something different? Different is bad because we're not familiar with it. But all the growth happens when we push back against that. When we push back against that little thing in our brain that says, oh, danger, danger, because it's really, most change is not dangerous. You know what I mean? It's not going to affect us negatively if we try to, exercise. Is exercise bad for you? No. Your body would have you think so in the first couple of days because you're really sore and really tired and like, oh my God, what's happening? But the benefit is, you're healthier. You breathe better, you digest better, you interact better with people because you've got exercise and good health and stuff. You just have to get over that first little hump. So that was also pretty sad when I realized, oh my God, it's been like 15 years since I actually had a super sweet, like absolutely clear vision for my life and where I was going and was able to really, really envision that. So before we talk about team stuff, I want to know, when was the last time you guys really, truly had like a vision that you could see and smell and hear and everything? It doesn't have to be for business either, just for anything in life. When was the last time? Whoever wants to go first.
I had a dream two weeks ago about owning a yarn shop. I was in a shop and like buying yarn and stocking shelves. It was really weird.
So is that something like, is that on your bucket list of things? Like you would own a yarn shop if price?
Never had the thought before, but it was like a weird, I don't know what brought it on.
Well, I think those visions like that, especially when you have dreams that are so, so vivid sometimes, it's really like your mind's way of saying, this is what makes you happy,
Mm-hmm.
Like this is something that, because how often do you make time now to really get into your yarn and make things?
Sometimes once a week if I'm lucky.
Exactly. But that's one of your favorite pleasure activities, right?
Yeah.
That's something that you love to do and would love to, you know, do more of, but we don't because we're adults and we have to do all the non-fun stuff, you know, or we feel like we have to do all the non-fun stuff, but you know.
Samson sounds like he's growling.
He just flipped over on the floor because he's sleeping and he went, So, it was a real hard life. What about you, Kayla? When was the last time you had like a super vivid, you know, reality?
I think. I don't know. I hate being put on the spot.
It's totally okay if it was a really long time ago. I mean, my God, mine was like 15-ish years. A little more.
I don't know. I think, I don't know. I really don't.
Like when you were Kenny's age, what did you dream about doing? What did you love to do?
Oh my God. Anything outdoors. I was always outdoors with my brother, and that's all we ever did. I never pictured myself being stuck in an office right now.
Mm-hmm. Exactly. I didn't either. I truly thought I would be standing on a Broadway stage until, you know, my mom reminded me 800 times that not everybody makes it in the music industry and I would have to eat bread and peanut butter all the time. That was the start of the end of that dream. But, you know, I listened to her. I didn't have the forthrightness to be able to be like, no, Mom, suck it, you know, because you just, sometimes it takes you longer to get, you know, strong and get those things. But like none of us here imagined our lives would be the way they are now. Am I correct in saying that? Like this isn't what we had imagined when we were kids, but it doesn't necessarily have to stay that way, you know? Because my whole plan was to like be a Broadway singer and then make a bunch of money and like be able to stay at my house. So one of those things came true, you know. I'm definitely not a Broadway singer and definitely not a millionaire, but here I am at my house, you know. So all those things that you love, even if it's not opening a yarn shop, but wouldn't it be amazing if you could have more time to just play and yarn and create things, you know? Or Kayla, wouldn't it be amazing for you if you had all the time in the world to just, you know, randomly on a Tuesday pick up and go paddle or something like that? Like, wouldn't that be awesome? But what, you know, what holds us back from doing that? Like, we want those things, but why do we let reality get in the way of that kind of stuff, you know? Like, when did it become less important? Because the stuff that brings you joy when you get to the end of your life, I'm finding this out with my Gram because she's got dementia and she's getting to the point now where sometimes she knows who you are. Most of the time I look just like her mother. So she thinks I'm her mom. Or if she realizes that I'm not her mom, she'll say, you really look a lot like my mother. You must belong to my family, you know? But even though she's not really present in reality, she can still vividly tell you all the things that she loved to do. You know, when she was young, all the things that brought her joy. And when she looks back on her life, she says, like, the only things that she remembers are the things that brought her joy. So if we're sitting here with an opportunity in our lap that would allow us to live a life by design, to have more of the things that bring us joy, why would we not totally maximize on that? You know, why would we not like internalize that and make it important? You know, it's important to pay your bills. It's obviously important to pay your bills, but you can do that with this business. So having a vision, not necessarily for your business and saying, maybe you don't have a vision as far as like, I want to be a 5-star diamond, or I want to have, a team of this many coaches, or I want to speak on the stage at Summit or something like that. I mean, there are people that get in this business and that's what they want. They want the rank, they want the recognition, they want all that sort of stuff. But having a vision for this business starts with having a vision for how you want your life to look. And if that's not firmly in place, then you're not going to have the intrinsic motivation to do what it takes to make the business work. Does that make sense, you guys? Okay. So now we focus on what that vision is for our lives. That's what we have to get in order first, because once we get that in alignment, then we know specifically what we're working toward. So, and it can change. I mean, obviously, when I first started this business, my vision was to get away from those mean girl bitches that I worked with. I would have done anything. And people said, why didn't you go work at a different law firm? Because there's the same people everywhere. There are people in every office that are mean. The legal profession is really bad about it for some reason. I've worked in 3 different firms over those 10 years and not one of them was different. And my friends all worked at different places and they had the same thing. So I needed to escape from that. And that was my vision, was to get out of there and not ever have to answer to, a boss that didn't appreciate my hard work, to not ever get taken advantage of, because I was always the one that was having to stay late and always the one, cleaning up other people's messes because they just didn't want to do a good job. So that was initially my vision. I'm like, I am getting out of this job somehow. And if I don't ever have to leave my house again, that's cool. Because I was to that point, you know what I mean? I like people, but I really like my house. So that was my initial vision, and it was small, and it wasn't something like, big bucks and that sort of thing. I was like, whatever it takes to do that. Now that I've achieved that vision, I had to develop a new one. So, my new one is growing a super motivated, strong team that goes out and helps people and, is known not only for rank and recognition, but for being just like awesome, wonderful women who improve people's lives just by being in them. I don't really care so much about like us being in the top 10 or something like that. I mean, that would be awesome someday for the future. That'd be totally cool, because that would mean that we're all making a shit ton of money, which would be great because that would solve a lot of our problems, right? And so we can put that on a vision board, but the way to realistically reach a goal is to have the vision in front of you and then break that down into things that you can achieve. So I, like, when I was ready to leave, wanting to leave my job, I'm like, I know I have to be making at least this much money with this business to be able to go. Okay, got to that. Now what? Now I would really like to buy a vacation home in Italy, but it's far off. So what can I do in the meantime? I can set a goal to make enough that we can pay for the plane tickets to go over there to look at real estate. Why not, right? And that vision in my head, the big vision of exactly what the view from our villa will look like and that sort of thing, that's what carries me through, because that would make my husband super happy. He wants so badly to get out of his job because he also works with a bunch of a-holes. He actually likes the kids more than all the teachers that he works with. So, I want that for him. That's my next vision, is to be able to retire him and then to buy a place in Sicily and then build this to a point where we can go to Sicily anytime that we want, because money's not an object. This business can do that for me. I understand that now because I've actually gotten to the point where I made the first dream a reality. So have a big vision. Like, Stacey, you guys want to buy a house. I know you guys really want to buy a house of your own. And that's right now seems like an insurmountable task, right? But you also had said you guys want to you've never had a vacation away, like a weekend away or something like that. Make that your vision. And say, I'm gonna have this weekend away. Make a Pinterest board, girl. I have so many Pinterest boards about things that I want to do. And it's like, you can go there and you can be safe to dream about what you want. And even if it's not like right now, right this second, you have a place that you can go to and, pin the type of hotel you'd like to stay in or activities you'd like to do, like pick a city. Where if you and Jonah could go away for a weekend, where do you think you'd like to go first?
Probably up to Maine.
Up to Maine?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so what would you do there?
Probably go have seafood and check out the beaches and those sort of things.
Yeah, exactly. So there you go. You've got a vision for a weekend away. Put that in the forefront and put that, go to Pinterest. I know you're on Pinterest, right? So go to Pinterest and make a Maine getaway board and start thinking about, where you'd like to go. Are you going to stay at a cute little B&B that's right on the water? Or are you going to be in the town so that you can walk down and get pastries and, that sort of thing? Like, just really, really line it out in your mind as to like, this is what I want. And this is why I want it, because we've never had a weekend away and because I love my fiance very much and it would be so much fun. And we both have always wanted to go there, like all the reasons that you want to go. And then make a picture of it in your mind and you can make a visual representation too. I'll show you guys. I went on Canva. Please excuse my old lady outfit. I never leave the house anymore. So I went on Canva and I made my stuff. Travel blog. I wanted to buy John his dream car. Here's our apartment in Palermo. This is the exact one that I want. It's what we stayed in when we were there. And that's going to be our view. I want us to travel around in a vintage RV. So I have those things. And they are right on the wall in front of me and I can see them all day long. So that way, it's always right in front of me what I'm working for. And these are far off. I mean, none of these are like, I'm not going to be buying an apartment in Palermo. I'm certainly not going to be buying like a $60,000 SUV anytime soon. But it's there and it's a reminder and it helps me focus. You know what I'm saying? So I encourage you guys to really, really sit down and figure out your vision for your life and also your vision for how this business can help you get there. So, Stacey, I know you said you wanted to be a doctor. What stopped you from that?
I was actually a pre-med biology major in undergrad, but then after my first year, I'd gotten C's in my bio and chemistry classes, and I decided that I wasn't cut out for it, that I'd never get accepted in med school, so I switched majors.
Oh, man. So if you could be in the medical profession now, would you?
Yeah.
You think you would do?
Yeah, Jonah tries to get me to go to med school all the time. Like, we don't need me to be in school for another 4 years and incur more school debt.
See, but that's adulthood talking, right? We don't need more debt. We don't need more time, But what about like nursing? Would nursing fulfill that?
No, my mother is a nurse.
Oh,
Nursing is horrible.
Yeah, or like PA school. My sister's a PA and she has a lot of the same.
Yeah.
And that's a 2-year gig.
Yeah. I've thought about that.
So that's something that's, I mean, you'd be making a lot of money when you came out. So, but this is something that you could work on the side that could help pay for that. I mean, the sky is the limit. What about you, Kayla? What did you want to do when you were a little girl?
I wanted to be the cliche veterinarian.
There's nothing wrong with that. Animals
That's
need
very
lovings
cliche.
too.
Yeah. But I get too attached, so that was my reality of not being able to do it.
Oh, like you thought that it would be too sad. You had to put it down and that sort of thing.
Yeah.
Yeah, that would be really hard. I don't know how people.
Like breaking it to a little girl that they're gonna lose their dog. No, I can't do it.
Yeah. Yeah, but you love animals, and they're a part of your life now.
Mm-hmm.
So that's a good thing. If you could do anything now, what would you do?
Literally just thinking about this the other day. And I don't know, I thought about being a hairstylist for a while because my schedule would be a little bit more flexible with Kennedy.
Mm-hmm.
Because right now I miss out on a lot because I drive 2 hours every day. So
What's holding you back?
school's in the middle of the day.
Do they not have night programs for?
No, they don't. Right?
What is up with that?
I don't know.
Even like online cosmetology school,
Oh my god, I'd jack somebody up.
right? Learn to cut hair via Skype or something like that. I mean,
Practice on Dustin, it would work.
there you go. He's got a lot of beard you could fool with.
There we
Hey,
go.
we're trying this cut over here. See, but you've got Kennedy as your why, right? Like she's your reason. She's your beyond everything, and you want to provide a good life for her and not miss out on the life that you have with her, especially while she's young. So keeping that at the forefront and figuring out, like, not just, I want to spend more time with her, but like you said the other night, like I want to go to dance classes, right? You want to be able to go to her dance classes and see those things. Put that in your vision. Put that on your vision board. Kennedy's dance classes. There's nothing too silly to go on a vision board. I mean, seriously, I have a $60,000 ugly SUV on there. Who does that, Or like a travel blog, a food blog. I mean, those are lofty goals. Those are things that I have the launch team for when Beachbody deploys to Italy someday. I want them to send me over there to talk to the Italians about Beachbody. Who knows if it'll happen? I don't know. Maybe not. Maybe I'm crazy for thinking it, but it's on there. So that way I have the motivation to keep working toward it, because these are the things that are important to me. And this is what keeps me on days like today when I really thought that I was going to drink wine before noon. Like it was a crappy day, but your vision, this is what's going to make the business not so hard, is the stuff like this that matters. So start with something small. Let's not even talk about team vision. Let's just start with something small and start with ourselves. We have to have a vision for our own lives. And then we can figure out a way that this business helps you achieve it. Because it can. It can give you all the freedom in the world. Financial freedom, time freedom, which would both be awesome things. Wouldn't it be great on a Tuesday to pack up with Jonah and say, hey, we're going to run up to Maine and eat some lobster? That'd be freaking cool, right? So
He also, for some reason, wants to be a full-time YouTube gamer. I'm like, okay. Sure.
Dude, okay. Okay. I mean, everybody's got a dream. So you could, use this business as part of mine is John wants to be a basketball coach. So I'm like, if you have to take a coaching job in the middle of BFE, I want us to be able to do that. So I'll work hard at this. He wants to be a YouTube gamer, which I assume could probably be a paid thing at some point. Yeah. Okay, there you go. You've got so much potential with this business, just by helping people change their lives. So, but it all starts with your own vision, and not just for the biz, but for yourself. All the things that you love, all the things that are important to you, those are what are going to keep you coming back. Those are what should be the center of where your vision stems from. So anyway, we're just about out of recording time, so I will wrap this up. But I would like you guys, if you would, to take some time this week and either write out a list or actually make a visual representation of your visions and share them with me, either in the group or you can email them or message them to me or text them to me or whatever, but just so you have it right in front of you to look at. Will you guys do that for me?
Mm-hmm. Kayla, you could go to farrier school. One of my sorority sisters is doing that. Take care of horses.
Oh, with the shoes and stuff?
Mhm.
That's a good idea.
Oh
Yeah.
my god, then I would own like 50 horses because then Kennedy would have a reason for us too.
Well, my sorority sister only has 3. She actually has a cute story. Someone left. She has a house with a field for her horses, and she found a note in her driveway. She thinks it was tacked to her fence. Was in a little kid's drawing, and a note that said, "Miss, I would like to learn how to ride horses. Will you teach me? Here's directions to my house." And the kid drew a map.
Oh, that's so
That's
sweet.
adorable.
So you could totally do that. There's nothing wrong with 50 horses or 3.
I mean, I got the acreage for it.
Right? Something to think about. Just think about
Yeah.
it. Yeah. So you guys just think about it, and don't worry about being silly or anything like that, because I mean, who wants to travel around in a vintage RV? I do. It's dumb, but whatever. Okay. You are my people. That is how I know that you are my people. You guys don't think it's weird at all. So, okay. So yeah, so just think about it. We're just about to run out of time before this cuts off, but think about it. Share it with me this week, and I will talk to you guys later. Bye.